House of Gucci tells the story of Patrizia Reggiani and the lasting effect she had on the Gucci family after she and Maurizio Gucci married in 1972. The film focuses on the events that led up to her planning the assassination of Maurizio in 1995, yet it leaves many questions unanswered. But before I get further into it, please consider subscribing to help support this channel so we can keep making videos like this. As with any film based on a true story, I like to begin my analysis by researching how much of the film's plot resembles the real events. On the spectrum between showing the total truth and being completely made up, House of Gucci sits closer to the former end, with much of the plot accurate to the real-life events. However, what struck me when reading about Maurizio and Patrizia is that Maurizio seems to have always been interested in the family business and legacy, whilst the film made it seem that Patrizia basically forced him to abandon his ambitions as a lawyer in order to pursue the family business. When his father dies, Maurizio inherits the majority shares of the company, and Patrizia is shown to encourage him to find a way to get rid of his uncle and cousin in order to control the company himself. He agrees, but this sudden willingness to betray his family felt abrupt and out of character, considering how much of a sweetheart he had been portrayed to be up to this point. Similarly, his uncle, played by the fantastic Al Pacino, is portrayed as this lovable and naive old man who is cheated out of the company by Maurizio and Patrizia. Yet in an article by Time magazine, it says that they wanted him out because they felt his approach to mass-producing product was cheapening Gucci's identity as a luxury brand. Drawing attention to this type of justification would have helped me understand the couple's seemingly cutthroat actions. Instead, they came off as bullies, which they may have been in part, but there was certainly a lot more underlying motivation that just wasn't coming through. They also omitted the fact that Patrizia had to undergo an operation to remove a brain tumor in 1992. Now, this may have been cut from the script in order to reduce runtime, but it feels like an event that would have an incredible impact on a person and their loved ones, especially considering that Patrizia had to go through it after she and Maurizio had already split and he had recently begun living with a new woman. I will say that I did enjoy the dialogue, especially Patrizia's, with lines like, "I don't consider myself a particularly ethical person, but I am fair." However, it feels like there were way too many lines dedicated to being clever or witty rather than advancing the story, and there was a lot that felt left unsaid that should have been said. The feeling of something missing continues with the editing, which often felt quite abrupt. Again, considering the film's runtime, seconds could have been skimmed off at the behest of the producers, but this has had a negative impact on the pace and flow of the film. It feels like many powerful moments were cut short, and important lines were not given enough breathing space. This wasn't helped by the occasional shaky handheld camera shots, which were probably there to add drama but ended up being just distracting. There's a particularly obvious one of Maurizio in the library, which is cut away from so quickly that it seems like the filmmakers didn't like it much either. Now, a topic that I definitely need to cover is the accents, which are crucial to the success of this film. Many of the cast members are American and British actors doing very thick Italian accents with a sprinkling of actual Italian words throughout. I think they made the right decision to have the actors commit to these Italian accents, as it would have felt weird to watch a film about the Gucci family with the actors doing their normal accents. And as much as I wish that more of the lead roles were played by actual Italians, I really can't hope to get that from a Hollywood film such as this one. As to the success of the accents, I think Al Pacino and Adam Driver did the best in not making them feel too exaggerated. Adam Driver's performance was also my favorite of this film, as he has this arresting presence when on screen. He perfectly conveyed Maurizio's quiet authority over each conversation, which juxtaposed with Patrizia's loud and persuasive power. If I am not mistaken, Jeremy Irons falls into British intonation quite frequently, but this may have been because his voice is so distinct that the subtlety of his Italian accent was not enough to mask it. Lady Gaga and Jared Leto suffered the opposite problem, with their accents feeling quite theatrical at times, but I will give them a pass because their characters were flamboyant enough to suit it. Indeed, the flamboyancy of the Gucci family and the uber-rich in general is something that this film nails. The production design created a palpable pomposity to the mansions we visited. The costumes, especially those of Lady Gaga, were oozing with decadence and embellished with swathes of jewelry, and they helped convey each decade perfectly. The soundtrack was also helpful in this task, churning out hit after iconic hit from each era. The choices felt very playful, for example, having George Michael's Faith play during Maurizio and Patrizia's wedding. I really enjoyed how the filmmakers highlighted the love and fun that the couple had when they first got together, as it's often the good times that get forgotten in retrospect. The hair, makeup and prosthetics are also worth commending, considering how unrecognizable Jared Leto is in his role as Paolo. Be it that he sometimes fell into a caricature of an Italian person, I think when he wasn't trying to be funny, when he was experiencing true sadness and betrayal, that his performance truly shone, such as when his uncle crushes his dreams. Overall, the themes of House of Gucci are enough to sell it. Love, legacy, greed, betrayal, and murder. The secrets of the filthy rich exposed. These are themes that are also in the highly acclaimed TV series Succession. In Succession, we are introduced to a group of despicable characters who are difficult to like on the surface. However, we learn sincere details about how their life has helped shape them into monsters, which makes it feasible to empathize with them, and I found this difficult to do with House of Gucci. Yes, the TV series benefits from having many hours to do this character development, but I would say that it achieves more in 2 episodes than House of Gucci does with the same amount of time. Though the performances are enjoyable and the family intrigue certainly entertaining, House of Gucci simply doesn't dig deep enough under the surface of its characters to make it a memorable exploration of its themes. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to see more videos, and comment with your thoughts on the topic. What do you think about these thick Italian accents? For more film content, feel free to follow us on Twitter, Letterboxd, and TikTok. Links in the description. On the 1st of December, we'll be kicking off a film advent calendar challenge on TikTok, so be sure to follow us to catch that and maybe join in.